Welcome back, everybody. Matt in the back here. Hope you're having a good weekend, or depending on when I put this video out, maybe it's already the beginning of the new week. Yeah. So, I wanted to do a video today talking about who I think should have been on the Illuminati, in the Illuminati, that we saw in Doctor Strange 2. I went back 2 weeks ago and watched Doctor Strange 2 for my second time since I saw it in theaters. And let me tell you, I'm still not gung-ho about that movie. I think it's fine, but it's definitely not top tier MCU. I would say maybe middle, and that middle is more on the lower end of the middle, not in like going up, more like going down, up, down, up, down, up. So, and I said to myself, okay, recently Kevin Feige has come out and said, the whole John Krasinski, Mr. Fantastic, that was just for the fans. He said, he's probably not going to be our Reed Richards for our main MCU. And I'm sure we're going to find out at D23 in September, when I'm hoping they announce the Fantastic Four cast officially. And he said, I know a lot of fans have wanted to see John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. Because people, if you remember when Doctor Strange 2 came out, the very next week, they said that they were actually looking at Daniel Craig to play Mr. Fantastic. But then when Daniel Craig couldn't because of other obligations, Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel, said, okay, well, I know a lot of people want to see John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. I mean, there's concept art, there's fan art of Krasinski with a Fantastic Four uniform, and the gray sideburns, and there's obviously photos of him with Emily Blunt, his real-life wife, as Sue Storm, and he said, why not? Let's just do it as a one-off. He comes in, he does the scene, everyone's happy. And that's fine. I do like John Krasinski, a lot of it, especially in A Quiet Place. But I said to myself the other day, especially after watching Doctor Strange 2 a second time, I said, hold up. If you did that for that one-time thing, because the fans wanted it, which is never a good thing to do, by the way. Don't always do what the fans want, especially the fans who are not in film at all, who don't make movies or have never made a movie before. Don't ever go by those people. Now, if you want to go by people that have made movies and then say, hey, I think this actor would probably be a good choice. But once again, we don't know the script. We don't know how they're writing the role of that character. So you might say, yeah, John Krasinski would be a great Mr. Fantastic. Or maybe the Mr. Fantastic that they're going for little, I don't know, Simon Pegg might be a better choice. I'm just throwing that out there. But you see my point. Until we read the script and know the direction that the director and the studio is going for the movie, I like fan casting. I've done many videos. But at the end of the day, I always say, I don't know where they're going with this movie. I don't know where they're going with the story. I don't know how they're writing the character. So, what I see as the character, and what I see in that actor's body of work, might be perfect, depending on how they're going with the character. So on that note, I said, so if you got John Krasinski, why didn't you go full-on crazy? Why not give us a scene that makes people go wild? That will make people jump in their fucking seats. That by the end of that scene, people are going, that is the best scene of any Marvel movie I have ever seen. Because of the casting. And now I did this week my own casting. My own Illuminati members, if you will. So, let's get to it. Number one. I am going to leave John Krasinski on there as Mr. Fantastic, if he is one of the ones that the fans have wanted, and they didn't give us that. So, Mr. Fantastic is one of the members of the Illuminati. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2, back in the 90s, when they were working on an Iron Man movie, there was only one actor that they went after to play Tony Stark, Iron Man. And apparently they even might have went back to him again, but something never worked out, and that is Tom Cruise. I think they should have done whatever they possibly could, especially since Tom Cruise has been on the rise again since, the end of the 2010s, or the end of the 2000s, early 2010s, when Mission Impossible 4 came out. Tom Cruise, or when Tropic Thunder came out in 2008, Tom Cruise has been on the rise ever since. We're talking about the McConaughey, the Keanu Reeves thoughts. Sometimes we forget about the Tom Cruise thoughts. He's been cruising. His movie this year is the biggest movie of the year still. $1.3, $1.4 billion. Top Gun Maverick. No one saw that coming. I would have loved to see that scene of Iron Man coming out, sitting down in the chair, and everyone thinking, oh, it's going to be Robert Downey Jr., it's going to be Robert Downey Jr. And then, the face part comes up, and it ends up being Tom Cruise. That would have been awesome, in my opinion. Especially coming right on the heels of Top Gun Maverick, and both of those movies being out around the same time, that would have been like, yep, this is the month of Tom Cruise, maybe. Doctor Strange 2, and Top Gun 2. Noo. So number 2 is Tom Cruise as Iron Man. I think that would have been great. Number 4. I would think one of the members on the original Illuminati is the Black Panther. No, this is number 3. Sorry. Is the Black Panther. And obviously, Chadwick Boseman sadly passed away. But since this is on another Earth, I say to myself, well, if Black Panther was one of the Illuminati, the original Illuminati, then why not just bring back Michael B. Jordan, and have him be the Black Panther on this Earth, this universe. So we would have seen Michael B. Jordan in the Black Panther suit, sitting down, and he doesn't have to have the Black Panther mask, helmet, headpiece on. He could have just been with the bodysuit and the little necklace thing around here, and just had him sitting there, as the T'Challa on that Earth. What is it? 838 or 616? I think that would have been great. It would have been nice to see Michael B. Jordan return. And this time he's obviously a good guy. He's on another Earth as Black Panther. Number 4 would have been who we did see in the movie. Haley Atwell as Captain Carter. I think that would have been fine. We've seen Haley Atwell ever since the first Captain America movie. It's a good replacement for Captain America. And we're going to have Iron Man in there. We're going to have Captain America. Mr. Fantastic. Black Panther. I think Captain Carter was a good idea. Haley Atwell always looks good. So that's my number 4. Now, I don't really know how many members are on the Illuminati. I'm just going by what we saw in the movie. But for my number 5. My number 5 can be either 1 or 2 actors. And both of these actors were almost playing the character. Alright. I'm going to set up 2 scenarios. So we have a chair empty. We still have 2 chairs empty for 2 more Illuminati members. All of a sudden we see swinging. Someone swings into the room. We see a web. The character comes down right in front of the chair. It's Spider-Man. And now most of you are going to go, oh, it's going to be Tom Holland. No. Oh, it's going to be Andrew Garfield. No. Oh, it's going to be Tobey Maguire. No. And we're going to get fun. No. Who is it? No, Spider-Man sits down next to Mr. Fantastic, and John Krasinski grabs Spider-Man's mask and pulls it off. And it's none other than Leonardo DiCaprio. And Leonardo DiCaprio is going to look like he did in The Departed, with a little goatee, some facial hair, light, having that buzz cut, or little spiky hair, dewy, like in the picture. And it's going to be Leonardo DiCaprio. But he is going to look like he does now, but thick. And now everyone's going, Leonardo fucking, what? Leonardo DiCaprio? Yes, people, back in the 90s, when a guy named James Cameron wrote a script for a Spider-Man movie, and was about to make a Spider-Man movie. He was looking at Leonardo DiCaprio. I think it was actually before Titanic. I think when Spider-Man didn't get made, he went on to do Titanic and got Leonardo DiCaprio anyway to play the role as Jack. But at one point, Leonardo DiCaprio was going to be Peter Parker, Spider-Man, in the 90s. So to have that moment in this movie, of the mask coming off, and it's fucking Leonardo DiCaprio, I would have lost my mind. Like, you got Tom Cruise over there, now you got Leonardo DiCaprio here. Holy shit. I think that would have been perfect. No, okay, my second option for Spider-Man, and this is another this one was so close to being real, it wasn't funny. So once again, scenario, Spider-Man swings in, sits down, John Krasinski pulls off the mask, and it's Jake Gyllenhaal. Now people, if you remember back in the mid-2000s, right before they started shooting Spider-Man 2, with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst, Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, Tobey Maguire was complaining that he wasn't going to come back because of back injury and, my back. And he wanted more money because Spider-Man 1 was the biggest movie of all time, opening weekend, at the time. He's like, my back is bothering me, I want more money, if you can't do this, I'm walking. And the studio said, okay, we already got a replacement. Jake Gyllenhaal. People remember, Jake Gyllenhaal was literally that close to becoming Peter Parker Spider-Man in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. And to top it all off at the time, he was actually dating Kirsten Dunst, Mary Jane Watson. So, it was like, oh. And Jake Gyllenhaal and Tobey Maguire do look similar. Just watch the movie Brothers, where they play brothers. I think that, and now people are going, but Matt, Jake Gyllenhaal was Mysterio in Spider-Man Far From Home. Yes, but that was on the MCU Earth, the timeline we've been going on. This is a different timeline. This is a different universe. And guess what? I could have seen Jake Gyllenhaal in the Spider-Man suit. And that would have been like, wow. Not to mention, we would have finally got a glimpse of what Jake Gyllenhaal could have been like as Spider-Man. Even if it was only for all that Illuminati stuff. I mean, him swinging around and taking the mask off, talking to Iron Man. Obviously, we've seen Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. have that back and forth between Spider-Man and Iron Man. Now you got Jake Gyllenhaal and Tom Cruise. I think that would have been great. And now for the final member of the Illuminati. The one we all wanted. The one we all wanted. So there we go. We got, fucking Professor Xavier in his little fucking wheelchair, wheeling around like a little fuck. And, he goes, where is he? Where is he? And then we hear off screen, on one of the sides of the screen, I'm here. Then we start from the low angle lens, low angle. We see 2 feet walking, and we start to pan up, 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 up. We see this guy with a cigar between his fingers and his mouth. And then we go wide, go wide, go wide. And lo and behold, we hear, sorry, Professor. And his motherfucking Hugh Jackman, Wolverine motherfucker, finally back. He can either be in the suit that he wore in Days of Future Past, the future scenes, or he could just be in a black leather jacket, with a shirt and jeans like he wore like in X-Men 1, and he has that cigar in his hand, and he says, sorry, Professor. And then he looks at Dr. Strange and goes, I thought we killed you. Hey, bub. Or just, hey, bub. I mean, come on, people. If Hugh Jackman walked into that room, people would have lost their minds. So you would have had on the Illuminati, and guess what? If that Fox deal was true, it would have happened. It would have been okay. Because we got Patrick Stewart in there, which we did, as Professor X. Because they still have that deal where until like 2024, if you're going to do an X-Men movie, you have to use the characters, the actors that have already played the character, if you're going to use those characters. Well, you got Patrick Stewart. So it would have been 100% okay to have Hugh Jackman show back up as Wolverine. And man, so you know man, Tom Cruise as Iron Man, Captain Carter, Haley Atwell, Michael B. Jordan, Black Panther, Leonardo DiCaprio or Jake Gyllenhaal as Spider-Man, John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Come on. That would have blown the rest of the year. Even if Doctor Strange still ended up not so good, just seeing those actors that were almost cast in the role, actors we wanted to see in the role, and actors we've been waiting to see them return, like a Hugh Jackman. That would have been my Illuminati. Especially if it was only going to be a one and done. One and done, you give me the Dream Team. Fuck the Illuminati team. Give me the Dream Team. Cruise, DiCaprio, Jackman, Jordan. Hey, Jordan, the Dream Team. Krasinski. What do you think? Who would you have picked for the Illuminati? Let me know in the comments below. Matt the Matt here.